Hi, welcome back. Certainly glad
As we
you could
begin our
join us today.
discussion of triangles, it's important that we discuss the triangle sum theorem, which ends up being a very important tool. Let's begin with problem 1 by drawing 3 lines. And we're going to draw them in such a way that they go ahead and intersect each other and end up forming a triangular region in the middle here. So you see this triangle is bounded by these 3 lines. Part B, identify the interior angle. So there's going to be 3 interior angles. 1, 2, 3. These are the actual 3 angles that make up the triangle. Tri meaning 3 angles. And so these are the typical angles you're just used to seeing in a triangle. And so here are the 3 interior angles. The exterior angles are going to be on the outside. You'll notice that there's 9 exterior angles. I would strongly suggest if you're taking notes to do this in different colors so you don't confuse the number 1 blue with the number 1 red. So the red angles in this case are the interior angles. The blue angles are the exterior angles. So with that in place, we can discuss the triangle sum theorem. That is to say that the sum or the addition or the adding of the interior angles is 180 degrees. And you may have already been aware of this, but just to show you, this is saying that angle 1 plus angle 2 plus angle 3 is equal to 180 degrees. That is a triangle sum theorem. So anytime we invoke the idea of triangle sum theorem, we're telling you to take the 3 angles that you have, add them up, and set them equal to 180 degrees.
Perfect. Perfect.
Is that true for every triangle, Mr. Over?
Perfect.
Why, yes.
Perfect.
What about a right triangle?
Perfect.
Yes. Scalene? Yes. Obtuse triangle? Yes. What about an acute triangle? Yes. Any triangle, by definition, the 3 angles add up to 180 degrees.
Perfect.
Now, this idea of 180 degrees, we've experienced this many times in this class so far. So if you would recall supplementary angles, and I have them listed on the board for you right now. However, I didn't write all of the words down. So you might want to take some time to write down some of these words that you are hearing to better explain this idea of 180 degrees. So for supplementary angles, we said that 2 angles are supplementary angles, or they're supplement angles of each other, if they add up to 180 degrees. Now, this will be useful in some other activities we do later. But the idea that angles add up to 180 degrees makes them supplementary to each other. We said that a linear pair, by definition, are 2 angles that are adjacent and supplementary, and if you add them up, it equals 180 degrees. So by the linear pair postulate, for example, we would have this setup right here where angle 1 plus angle 2 is equal to 180 degrees if they are a linear pair. Well, and where do we get the idea of a linear pair? The idea of a line, right? A straight angle. So we say by definition that a straight angle has a measurement of 180 degrees. In other words, a line has an angle measurement of 180 degrees. All of these ideas will be very important when we do a proof in some future assignments. Understanding that supplementary angles add up to 180 degrees, that a linear pair are adjacent supplementary angles that add up to 180 degrees, and that ultimately our default is that a line or a straight angle is 180 degrees. Problem 3. So, if we know that the triangle sum theorem tells us that the 3 angles add up to 180, we could say that angle H plus angle I plus angle G equals 180 degrees. However, we know that angle H is 54.6 degrees. We know that angle I is 20.6 degrees. And that leaves us looking for angle G. You have my blessing to use a calculator to do some of this math. And so we combine those two angles, we get 75.2 degrees. If we subtract that from both sides, we get angle G by itself, and angle G ends up being 104.8 degrees. We were able to do this because of the triangle sum theorem. Now, if you wanted to write this in words and simplify it, it pretty much is saying, hey, if I have two of the three angles, well, add them up and then subtract it from 180 to find your missing side. For your summary, in problem 3, explain in words how the triangle sum theorem can be used to find a missing angle.
Roll out.